Once upon a time, in the land of Elephant Valley, there lived a curious little elephant named Ella. Ella loved to play and splash in the river, but something else caught her eye and made her wonder. All the colorful letters that danced around when the older elephants talked and read from their big, interesting books. What magic is this? Ella thought. One sunny morning, Ella decided it was time to find out. She packed her favorite peanut butter sandwich, put on her sturdy walking shoes, and waved goodbye to her family. "I'm off to learn about these mysterious letters," she announced. Her journey took her to the edge of the Elephant Valley, where the huge, whispering trees of the alphabet forest began. At the entrance, she met a wise old owl named Owlbert. Owlbert had twinkling eyes and a soft, friendly voice. "Welcome to Alphabet Forest, Ella," he hooted. "Are you ready for a magical journey?" Ella's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Yes, yes, yes," she trumpeted. Owlbert opened his wings and out fluttered a map. "This map will guide you. At each stop, you'll meet a new friend who will teach you about a letter. Are you ready to start with A?" Ella nodded eagerly, her heart thumping with joy and anticipation. And with that, hand in hand or wing in trunk, Ella and Owlbert stepped into the enchanting alphabet forest, ready to begin the most magical quest of learning. Ella and Owlbert walked deeper into Alphabet Forest. The trees seemed to hum with magic. Soon they came to a cozy clearing where tiny ants marched in a line. "Welcome to letter A," Owlbert announced. In the clearing, dancing and laughing, was Antonio the ant. Antonio was not just any ant. He was an artist, painting beautiful cobwebs all around. "Hello, Ella," Antonio chirped. "Are you ready to learn about the amazing letter A?" Ella nodded, her eyes wide with wonder. Antonio handed her a tiny brush. "A makes the sound ah, like an apple," he explained, painting a bright red apple. Ella tried too, her trunk moving carefully to draw the letter A. "Ah, apple," she trumpeted, proud of herself. They spent the morning painting and playing, and soon Ella could recognize and say the letter A perfectly. "You did it, Ella," cheered Antonio. "You've learned your first letter." Ella beamed with happiness. Before leaving, Antonio gave her a small book. "To keep your letters," he said with a wink. Ella hugged Antonio goodbye and thanked him. She was excited to see what other letters she would learn. "On to B," Owlbert hooted, as they waved goodbye to Antonio and set off deeper into the forest, the adventure only just beginning. After leaving Antonio, Ella and Owlbert continued their journey. The forest was full of wonders, with sunlight peeping through the tall trees. Soon, they found themselves in a beautiful part of the forest filled with buzzing bees. "This is where Bee lives," Owlbert explained, as they approached a garden blooming with flowers. Betty the bee buzzed around them, her wings shimmering in the sunlight. "Psst, welcome, Ella, I'm Betty, and I'm buzzing with excitement to teach you about the letter B," she greeted. Ella giggled at Betty's buzzing. "B makes the sound ba-ba, like in butterfly," Betty said, pointing to a butterfly fluttering by. Ella watched carefully and then tried herself. "Ba-ba, butterfly," she said, smiling. Betty showed Ella how to draw the letter B with sticks on the ground, and they even made bee-shaped cookies with honey. The time flew by, and soon it was time to say goodbye. "You're a bee-brilliant learner," Betty praised, giving Ella a jar of honey. Ella put the jar in her book next to letter A. She hugged Betty, saying, "Thank you, Bee Betty." With a happy buzz, Betty waved them off. "To C we go," Owlbert said, leading the way. They left the garden, eager for the next letter adventure, the sounds of the buzzing garden fading into the magical ambience of Alphabet Forest. Their next stop in Alphabet Forest was a cool, clear stream winding through the trees. Here, they met Charlie the cat, who was fishing with a paw. "C is for cat, that's me," Charlie said with a purr. "And C makes the sound ca-ca, like in cupcake." Ella's tummy rumbled at the mention of cupcakes. Charlie showed Ella how to carefully draw the letter C in the sand beside the stream. "It's like a moon," Ella observed, delighted with her discovery. "Cat," she practiced, her trunk gently forming the letter in the sand. Charlie then invited Ella to help decorate some cupcakes he had made earlier, each with the letter C on top in icing. Ella was having so much fun, she didn't want to leave. But the sun was starting to set, and there were more letters to learn. "You've been a wonderful teacher, Charlie," Ella said, hugging her new friend goodbye. Charlie gave her a cupcake to take on her journey, and a small cloth to keep her letters clean, Ella placed it carefully in her book next to the letters A and B. "Where to next?" Ella asked, excitement in her voice. "D awaits," Owlbert hooted with a smile, leading the way. They continued onwards, the fading light casting long shadows, as they looked forward to meeting new friends and learning new letters. As Ella and Owlbert journeyed through Alphabet Forest, they realized the sky was getting dark. "We've learned A, B, and C today. It's time to head home," Owlbert said, looking at the setting sun. Ella felt a tiny bit sad because she wanted to learn all the letters right away, but she was also very tired from their adventure. On their way back, they talked about all the friends they met and the fun they had. "Tomorrow we will meet more friends and learn more letters," Owlbert promised. When they reached home, Ella's family was waiting to hear all about her adventure. Ella excitedly told them about Antonio the ant, Betty the bee, and Charlie the cat. She showed them her book with the letters A, B, C, and the gifts she received. Her family clapped and cheered for her bravery and smartness. That night, Ella went to bed feeling happy and eager for the next day. She hugged her book close, dreaming of the amazing friends she would meet and the new letters she would learn in Alphabet Forest. "Good night, letters. Good night, friends," she whispered as she drifted off to sleep, smiling. The end of Ella's first quest, but the beginning of many more learning adventures. We hope you enjoyed this story. If you liked this video, please go ahead and push the like button. If you like the content and want to see more, please subscribe to our channel. Goodbye.